When does an aircraft model become pointless? We might just find the answer to that question in today's episode, which I, by the way, would not have been able to make if it had not been for the great prices of the FMB shop, because otherwise I would not have ordered this aircraft model. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Bombardier Dash8-Q400 of Austrian Airlines. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of the box we then find the Austrian Airlines branding. The backside of the box follows the dreadful box design of Herpa Wings. That means another cutout, which of course destroys any hopes for me that Herpa cares about their product. So the only thing of interest here simply is the fact that this is a limited edition. And here she is, the Bombardier Dash8-Q400 in the last delivery applied to the Dash8 as it was still active in the Austrian fleet. Although the last Dash8 from Austrian, of course, was still flying in the Danube Blue livery. I know, liveries and Austrian Airlines, that's a confusing topic, so let's just focus on the aircraft model itself to see if it is actually worth our time. And I know I kind of already hinted at that this model might be the biggest time waster of this year, but let's just focus on the aircraft model as neutrally as we can, and then I will get into why I think it is a time waster later in the video. So if we just look at the tail section, we can see here on the vertical stabilizer we have the Austrian branding. Of course, with the Dash8, the horizontal stabilizer is mounted on top of the vertical stabilizer, and I think overall Herpa has done a pretty decent job with that. Then on the fuselage we have the Lufthansa Group branding. We have the door to the cargo compartment, the full registration code of the aircraft, the Austrian flag, the flag of the European Union, and as I learned in my last Dash8 review, the air intake for the APU. And then, of course, towards the very tail of the aircraft, we also have this little detail, which I still believe is a strobe light or some kind of flashing light. But again, if you know more, let me know in the comment section below. Then at the front of the aircraft and across the fuselage, we have the Austrian Airlines branding. We have a Star Alliance logo, of which the airline is a member. We have the aircraft type specification, and underneath the cockpit windows, we have the name of the aircraft. That leads us to the cockpit section itself, where we, of course, have the cockpit windows with the window wipers, above which we have the last two letters of the registration code and the emergency hatch for the cockpit printed on. The engines of this turboprop, apart from being painted quite nicely in white and red, also feature the Austrian.com branding, and as is usual with these turboprop aircraft models, of course, also have the movable blades, which is always a lovely feature. Another place where I think Herpa has done a great job with this aircraft model are actually the wings. Here the top side, but also the underside has some nice detailing, including the full registration code of the aircraft. And then we also have the landing gear, and that is actually the standard landing gear that Herpa uses for all the Dash8 aircraft models, but that is a good thing because it really looks nice and kind of proportional to the aircraft model. The front landing gear could be argued maybe a tiny bit too large, but definitely not the worst we have seen from Herpa Wings. But then we come to the belly of the aircraft, and here we have the addition of a print. This is supposed to say Servus, so hello in Austrian, but unfortunately has been destroyed by a hole in the fuselage for a stand which is not included with this aircraft model. So there we have it, the Bombardier Dash8-Q400 in the last standard livery of Austrian Airlines applied to the Dash8 while it was still in service from Herpa Wings in scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Well, let me get one thing straight from the beginning. I like Herpa's Dash8 models. I think they are doing a great job with it. I also like when Herpa makes Austrian Airlines models, especially now since we have been waiting for so many years. But, of course, I'm disappointed that they then start making models of aircraft that are not in the active Austrian Airlines fleet. But the biggest disappointment with this aircraft model is actually the fact that the one reason why they made this aircraft model was then destroyed by Herpa Wings immediately. Let me explain. Now, we've had several Dash8 aircraft models from Herpa Wings in the various Austrian Airlines liveries, but there was a very specific reason why Herpa chose to make this specific Dash8 as an aircraft model, and that is because it was the only Dash8 that received the addition in the livery of the writing Servus on the belly of the aircraft, only to then immediately destroy that one specific detail with a hole in the fuselage, and I repeat myself here, for a stand that is not included with this aircraft model. How much do you hate your own product to destroy the only reason you make this model. Now, of all the pointless and stupid decisions Herpa has made over the years, this has got to be one of the dumbest decisions Herpa has ever made. And I really do try to refrain from any kind of swear words when I do these reviews, but this decision makes absolutely no sense. Now, with this major disappointment, it is time to end today's episode. If you have enjoyed it nonetheless, then I would very much appreciate a like, and of course, if you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? That would be absolutely awesome. With that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.